Hey folks, Tito, Jeff Thitoff here. It's the Jeff Thitoff Show here on FanStream Sports. Make sure you go to the website, fanstreamsports.com. Check out all the great things we have going on there, all the new shows. We're adding new content. And follow me on Twitter @ThatHappens. And later on in the show, by the way, we're going to talk to a few of the people associated with Worst Christmas Ever, a movie coming out. It stars Maurice Hall, former Ohio State running back, played on the national championship team back in 2002, also a local Columbus high school football running back legend. We're going to talk to him, Tony Patterson, Taja V, Simpson, all three associated with Worst Christmas Ever. Maurice is a co-writer, co-director, co-producer. Tony Patterson, co-writer, co-producer, co-actor. We'll hear about why he's patron number one. We'll talk to him. And also Taja V. Simpson played a big role in this movie. But it's a red carpet event going on in Columbus on November 13th at Studio 35. Go to studio35.com/events and check out how you can get to the red carpet event, meet and greets and whatnot. Released in theaters November 14th, streaming on Tubi November 18th. It's Worst Christmas Ever. It's a great movie coming out. Maurice Hall, one of Columbus's own, a Buckeye legend, also involved in that. The movie also stars B.J. Britt, Sean T. Lowry, Bill Bellamy, Tamala Jones. All those people are in the movie as well. It's going to be great. So we will talk to them here shortly. We'll talk to Maurice, Tony, and Taja V, and give you more information on how that movie went down and what happened there. But first, I wanted to tell you about, by the way, stick around for the end. We have an extended trailer from the movie we will play. CFP Rankings just came out. And Ohio State number 1, Indiana 2, A&M 3, Texas A&M. And it's, human nature, radio, whatever, podcasts, as far as overreacting to things. It doesn't make much sense to overreact yet to these rankings. You could have made a case, Joey Galloway tried to, by the way, that Texas A&M should be number 1 in these rankings. Indiana, you could make a case of them being number 1. I think they still have, I will still say their win over Oregon is the best winning college football this year at Eugene. A&M winning at Notre Dame, that's a good one too. But at Ohio State, their schedule, if we look at it now, like just how teams have played this year, you might say Ohio State's got a weaker schedule. And that's the part that's going to be interesting about all of this, how it plays out with how you look at teams. Like Ohio State, it's not like they dodged anybody. Look, I know they scheduled Grambling State. They scheduled Ohio University, a couple of not great teams, right? You got a MAC school, and you've got like a lower division team in Grambling State. But they did schedule Texas. And this was years ago. You schedule these games far in advance. And that's the part that's interesting about this is Ohio State had no – Texas, back in August – Texas was the number 1 team in the country. That's what happened. They've underperformed, lost a couple of games. They still could be in the playoff. They're still ranked, by the way. They're 11th right now among the top 12, but top 12 don't get in. We'll talk about that in a minute. Nonetheless, Ohio State beat Washington, who's a good team. They're also ranked in the top 25 of the college football playoff. So I don't want to blame or penalize a team because of how the other teams did as opposed to where they were supposed to be, and also how the conferences scheduled your season. The Big Ten Conference sets the schedule. Last year, Indiana had a damn easy Big Ten schedule. They had one game they had to really win on their Big Ten schedule last year, and they lost it to Ohio State. Ohio State, because Penn State sucks, I don't want to penalize Ohio State. Ohio State does have one big game they have to win. That's Michigan on the Saturday after Thanksgiving, I should say. So, it's all going to play out. A&M still's got to play Texas, so we'll find out something about both those teams there. Ohio State and Indiana will very likely still play each other coming up in the Big Ten championship game. So although the rankings come out, Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, A&M 3, Alabama 4, Georgia 5, Ole Miss 6, BYU is 7th, Texas Tech 8, Oregon 9, Notre Dame 10. Now 11 and 12 are Texas and Oklahoma, but because of the way they work the college football playoff, that's not who it would be. 11 and 12 would probably be Memphis and Virginia. Virginia, the right now leading contender to win the ACC, a one-bid league in all likelihood, and Memphis, the top group of 5 schools. So, but if you look at the way the schedules play out, like we know, I just said Ohio State and Indiana have to play each other still. Texas still plays at Georgia. That's coming up November 15th, and then they host Texas A&M on November 28th. So there's opportunities there. Texas, if they sweep those, the game between Arkansas, if they win all 3 or lose all 3 or some combination, that is going to change how we perceive the Texas Longhorns. Alabama, who really also has a case to be number 1. Their one loss to Florida State. They still play They got LSU at home. They host Oklahoma, host Eastern Illinois, which is a weak game, and then at Auburn. But they've still got the tough game at Oklahoma. So you look at Oklahoma and say, oh, Oklahoma's 12th. Yeah, Oklahoma's a chance to improve on that as well. So many games. BYU's playing Texas Tech this weekend. There are so many games that are going to determine on these things what happens with the rest of the rankings. And so Oregon, by the way, is ranked 9th from the Big Ten. Oregon would be the third Big Ten team in, and I don't think the Big Ten gets 4 in. But Oregon this week has to play at Iowa. They still host USC and play at Washington. Tough road for Oregon, but if Oregon wins all those games, they will move up. So I guess what I'm trying to say is there's not a reason to get too overly hyped about where your team is ranked or get pissed off where your team is ranked, whatever it is, because so many things can happen between now and the end of the season. Like the Ohio State, Indiana thing, A&M. Right now, like if it were me, I think Ohio State's the best team in the country. I do. I think Ohio State, top to bottom, best team in the country. I also think A&M might be more deserving to be number 1. But, and Galloway was talking about this, and Greg McElroy on the ESPN show about how the analytics, how the metrics all point more towards A&M. Not all of them do. I get it. Some of them do. That's for sure. But I have no problem with Ohio State, Indiana, A&M being the top 3. It will change. It has to change. Indiana, if they lose somewhere along the way, which I don't think they will, or Ohio State would lose, which I really don't think they will, there'll be 2 teams in the top 3 playing for the Big Ten championship, and that will likely determine who the number 1 seed overall will be. And really, 1, 2, 3, 4, does it matter that much? Probably not. You are still going to have to beat, if you're 4, you're going to have to beat 2 and then 3 and or 1, one of those to win the championship. So it's going to happen at some point. It's just a matter of when it does. But I think Alabama's got the chance to make the biggest jump. Georgia's sitting there at number 5, and Georgia's remaining schedule, I'm calling it up right now. Their remaining schedule, they host Texas November 15th. They host Charlotte. They host Georgia Tech. That's their last 3 games. I'm sorry, at Mississippi State this week. That should be a win, though. And then host Texas, host Charlotte at Georgia Tech. So it really comes down to Georgia rooting against Alabama, hoping Alabama loses, because then Alabama would be out of the SEC championship game, perhaps paying all the tiebreakers. The tiebreakers are a big mess across college football. But I don't have a big problem with any of these rankings because it's too early. Yes, if you are a fan of, say, Miami, and they're sitting there at 18, and you've got Notre Dame sitting there at 10, they both have the same record. Miami, though, did beat Notre Dame. So could you gripe about that? Sure. But things still have to happen between now and the CFP final rankings before we figure out who the 12 teams are that will participate. It doesn't surprise me that Texas and Oklahoma are right there on the cusp of it in the top 12, but they could again get bumped out because depending on what happens with the ACC, which should be a 1-bid league this year. It's funny, the Big 12 now may have 2 bids, ACC maybe 1 bid, depending on how things play out. But Texas and Oklahoma, I think, are both worthy teams, but you always 2 lost teams. You've got Notre Dame, you've got Texas, Oklahoma, Utah, Vanderbilt, Miami, USC, Iowa, Missouri, Washington. All those teams are 2 lost teams. And at some point, because teams are going to play each other, we'll have to figure out which ones get in where. But look, people are worried about the CFP 12-team playoff making the regular season meaningless. That's not the case at all. Just look at the next few weeks, how many elimination games we have on the docket. We had one last week with USC Nebraska. I'm not saying either team would have been CFP worthy, but the loser of that game was definitely going to be out, and that was Nebraska in that game. Northwestern is at USC this week on Friday night. But going through the other games then, you got BYU at Texas Tech. That's a noon game, and that's a huge one there. Indiana's at Penn State. Indiana, number 2 at Penn State. And for some reason, I'm a little bit worried for Indiana. And I'm not sure why. I think it might be because of the Penn State name. Maybe that's the reason I'm worried, because Penn State is Penn State, even though Penn State isn't Penn State, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Indiana's about a 15-point favorite. I think 14.5 last time I saw. But that feels like a trappish kind of game for me. Nonetheless, we'll have these other games pop up. Oregon's at Iowa. That's a huge game for both those teams. It's elimination game for Iowa. It might be elimination for Oregon as well. Not easy going in there and playing in Des Moines, so we'll see how that one plays out. But there's all these other games across the board as you look. There's LSU's at Alabama. LSU not playing for much, really. They've got an interim coach now and new AD, but Alabama can't afford another loss, I don't think. Navy at Notre Dame. Notre Dame certainly cannot afford another loss. Wake Forest at Virginia. Virginia right now being the odds-on favorite to be the ACC champion. So that's important for them. But so I don't think if it gets to beyond 16, if it gets to a 16-team playoff, then I'd worry about the regular season after that. But I'm not worried about it as a 12-team playoff. The regular season still matters. All right, folks, stick around after the break. We will come back in here. Worst Christmas ever. Red carpet event in Columbus on November 13th, studio35.com/events. Get tickets for that. Meet and greet with some of the actors, the producers, the writers, and all of that. It will be released in theaters on November 14th, streaming on Tubi November 18th. Maurice Hall, former Buckeye great. He is one of the co-directors, co-producers, co-writers, co-stars. I got all that in there. Tony Patterson, Taja V. Simpson. Also, those guys are executive producers. And Tony Patterson wrote the script with Maurice Hall. But it's a great movie. It looks fantastic. So make sure you check that out. There'll be a trailer, again, extended trailer after we have these people on. We'll do that next. Hey, folks, now I'm joined by the cast of some of the cast members and the directors of the show here. Worst Christmas Ever, the new movie coming out. It is the red carpet premiere is on Thursday, November 13th in Columbus here at Studio 35. You can go to studio35.com, click on events, and you can see where you can buy tickets for this red carpet event. It's out in theaters on November 14th. On Tubi, it'll start streaming November 18th. There, you don't want to hear anything else from me, but now we are joined by the real people here, the real stars of this. We've got Maurice Hall, co-director and co-writer and actor. We also have Tony Patterson, co-director and co-writer, and Taja V. Simpson, an executive producer and actress on the show as well. Thank you so much for joining me today. I want to start off with you, Maurice, and you and I, albeit at different times, walked the same high school halls. And
yes, sir.
It's amazing to me that, because you were first very popular for being, one of the best high school football players in the state, going to Ohio State, win a natty there. And you the things you are now have nothing to do with the football world. And I'm curious, when you're in high school, and did you see yourself doing this now?
No, not at all. The funny part is, I remember the kids that took theater in my high school, and it always I was like, I wonder what they're doing over there, but it was never like, oh, I got to be a part of it, just because I was never exposed to anything that related to the entertainment industry outside of sports. So I never even knew that was a way you can make a living, or even do outside of just like having fun with it. So, it was interesting to see it come full circle, because I remember those people and they doing plays. And I remember I tried to do one thing in college, and someone was like, the teacher was kind of like,
stay in your lane.
Football's for you. But it was funny how I fell into it, because I fell into it doing sports analyst work, where I had my first live shot on the field, and it was like, it was Cabaret. I remember I heard him in my ear. I'm like, okay, your boy's ready. Let's throw it out to Maurice on the field. Maurice, how's it going out there? Oh, it's going amazing out here. I'm just back to you. That was my first live shot, and it was the absolute worst. And I feel like everybody in the city of Columbus saw it. And one guy came up to me and said, hey, man, you should try taking an acting class to help calm the nerves of like talking to, live to a camera versus like actually talking to a person. And I was like, acting class? I don't want to be an actor. I just want to, get this job right. So I took the acting class to help. And once I took that acting class, those same emotions I had for football, when I was a kid, I was like, man, this feels very familiar. I think this is the next thing. And, from there, we just, I prayed about it. And fortunately, I was able to get here to LA. And now we're here 16 years later, man.
It's Worst Christmas Ever. Red carpet premiere Thursday, November 13th over at Studio 35 in Columbus. Studio35.com. Click on events. You can find it there. Released in theaters November 14th. Tony, I saw all the press kit that came over. Great. By the way, we'll play the trailer. We'll do that at the end of the podcast, so we can check that out. It looks like a great movie. It says it's based on a true-ish story. Now, I'm curious. Is this more about you or Maurice or a combination of the two?
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
I had to bring Maurice on board because we've written several projects together, and we have separate projects that we write alone because we, it was just our.
Okay. Lost you there for a second.
Yeah. And I said, Mo, so let me tell you what happened 2 days ago when I came back from Atlanta. And that's what happened. I needed help. So I think about 2 months later, I said, I got to turn that misery into a movie. Yeah, it's loosely based on my experience going to see my ex-wife at her new home.
Okay.
Yeah, listen, I don't want to listen, man. I thought I'm over it, but it's funny. I have to laugh. Yeah, it's me. It's all me.
Okay.
Yeah. So so Maurice, yeah, I love it because Maurice plays the husband, and he's in the business. And he showed up to set and loved it because some actors are like, oh my God, he always does things that sort of like semi-biographical. The guy who plays Carl Gilliard, he's the husband and he's the performer, and so yeah, that's me. Yeah.
That's outstanding. I love the fact that that's that. I've watched the trailer probably 30 times. I think it's hysterical. It's gonna be a great move for everybody to go out and check out.
So funny.
Taja, what about it? What about this project attracted you to it?
Maurice and Tony, to be honest. I've worked with them on other productions and it's always a blast. And so when I, like you and everyone else, when you read the script, you're like, wait, this really did happen? So, you go to Tony and you're like, so this is real? And he's like, yeah, and Tony's big exuberant personality, yeah, no, that was it. Yeah, exactly. No,
right.
And so as we're, going through the script and different things I have questions about, and Tony's like, no, I needed him to say it just like this. I want this because that's what I said. And I'm like, okay, So I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was funny. I thought I knew we were going to have a good time making the film. And I was excited to produce with them as well because I've worked with them in other productions in various different capacities. But this was the first time I was able to come on and be like a part of the trio. Normally this is a duo, baby, but we got a little feminine energy in there,
Yeah, we need it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so we had a really good time and it was a lot of fun. So I'm grateful. I'm excited for it to come out. I'm trying to spread the word as much as possible. I'm going to also do like a movie theater meet and greet with me at the theater one of the days while we're there to help promote it and get the word out because it's our baby at this point. Tony's story is our baby.
It's our baby.
So I'm curious, Tony. So let me ask you. I'll ask this first of Taja. So when you're working with someone who's the one of the directors, and it's his experience, right? Like, I don't know if you worked on a situation like that before, but you mentioned kind of, but like there's times like, no, listen, I know this is what you want to do as an actress. I'm telling you, we got to do it this way because this is how this person sounded.
Right. Yeah. No, there are total moments like that. But Tony is also a very forgiving director and writer. So he'll allow you to do takes that how you see it as a creative, right?
Right.
That may enhance the moment because it is based on his life, but it's not like a reenactment of it, right? It's still funny. It still have moments that he allows us to give a little grace to be like, okay, well, let me do something. Okay, do what you want to do. And then if it hits, it works, and may make the cut. So he is forgiving in that way. Both of them are, which will allow us to be able to play. And as an artist, that's what you want. You want to be able to bring your interpretation to the words that when you breathe life off the page, to the words off the page. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
So, Tony, was it tough for you? I know you said you got to have fun with it and be, make fun of it and all kind of thing, but reliving some of those things. I know, look, you can say it now how it's a funny thing to look back on, but I'm sure in the moment those things actually happened, it was probably tense at times. Was that at all difficult for you or was that easy to get through?
To get through in real life?
Yeah, get through when you're directing it, like when on the other side of it.
It was because at that point, I'll be honest, my biggest concern was the only person in my family I let look at the script and me explain it to him was my youngest daughter. I didn't let my ex, I didn't let, her husband who's in the biz, I didn't let my son, just my daughter, because we have a certain connection of how to criticize each other in a positive manner. And she made some changes to it. Well, Dad, you got to do that because that's not, that may not be true to the story, but that's true to the character. So, it was funny to me. I mean, it was just, I'm glad I survived the event, but I enjoyed it. And these guys embodied it. Like, Mo playing the husband was hilarious. And
He was funny.
Taja's part is you got to add some flavor. And she was all the flavor, all the spice, because she gave the main character something to hold on to, Billy.
Absolutely.
And I had nothing to hang on to back then. So loosely based, I had to make it. Wasn't a complete zero, but no, I enjoyed it. I joke about it, but man, I live off of laughter.
Absolutely.
I'm fine.
We've got Tony Passion, your co-director and co-writer of hashtag Worst Christmas Ever. Yeah.
Co-actor.
And co-actor. You're right. I'm sorry about that. Yes, Tony also in there. Yes, only we've heard about that.
I
Yes.
am patron number one. I didn't get a name. We'll talk about that later.
That's a bigger deal.
Talk to the co-director.
Now, I'm still shady on that.
Maurice Hall, the actor, co-director, and co-writer. Taja Simpson, actress and executive producer in this film. And
don't forget her V. Don't forget.
I'm sorry, I guess the V. You're right. I got the V written on my notes too.
Yes,
Taja V. Simpson. Taja V. That's right.
I saw her eyes, even though she didn't say that. I saw her eyes twinkle.
Oh,
said, oh my God! I'm just saying. I know it.
Taja V. Simpson.
It does do a little something to me. It's a little like,
I got you. No,
Taja, hold it together.
It's Worst Christmas Ever. Red carpet premiere Thursday, November 13th over at Studio 35. Studio35.com. Click on events. Check it out there. It'll be released in theaters November 14th. On Tubi, it'll be streaming November 18th. Maurice, what was the hardest part of this project? Whatever it was, acting, directing, writing. What's the hardest part of this project for you?
Producing.
Yeah.
Producing is the hardest part. And I say that because, whenever you're making an independent film, right? Independent means that there's no certain studio that's giving you money up front to make this movie. And so when, fortunately for us, we did have the experience from a creative standpoint and from a fundraising standpoint to be able to secure some more funds. But that is always the hard part, because you really got to get people to believe in the story and understand and think the story is as funny as you say it is.
Right.
And think that the people that you want to get on board are as great as you say they are. I think that's always the hard part, man. And, fortunately, for us, I've worked with Taja on 5 or 6 projects now. I think she's been in everything that I've
Maurice, it's Taja V. Just let you. I'm just saying. I'm just letting you know on this one. Okay,
I call him TV.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
TV.
All right.
For so many projects. That was good. That was good. I love that. That was good.
Oh my God.
But I worked with her so many times, and obviously, she has a brand awareness that we're so excited about from, the various different projects she's done that, have gone #1 on Netflix with Medea's Destination Wedding. And then obviously doing over 100 episodes on The Oval. She was somebody I definitely respect as an actor. But also respect as a business person, which is why I was like, TV, we got to get you to help produce this with us, and then being able to bring, Shanti on board, who was on The Game, and then everybody knows Bill Bellamy and Tamala Jones, and then just continuing to add to our cast, and then BJ Britt, who is the Hallmark King, and has done so many other projects as well. Like, we all kind of brought that together and put that in a package, and I took it out to, personal friends, personal, colleagues, to see if they wanted to jump on board. And, fortunately for us, they did. And we have an amazing film to show, and that's what I'm so excited about. And to not only show them, but show the world, what we kind of put together. And, I think it's going to be a really good hit.
Tony, have you guys started talking about the next project, or do you have to take a break? Like something like this, once this all comes out. I talked to, I don't know if you guys know who the author Jeff Pearlman is, and he just wrote this extensive book on Tupac that just came out. And he interviewed 650 people and stuff. And I asked him, like, when he finally gets that book in his hands, he spent 3 years on it. I didn't know if it was a relief for him or if it was anxiety because I got to start doing something else. And I'm curious from your guys' standpoint, I'll start with you, Tony. Once you put all your sweat, all your blood and sweat into this thing, and then now it's all coming to fruition, is it a sense of relief or is it a sense of, I got to do something else now?
It's a sense of Mo. Every time we finish this, he goes, Tony, I got the sequel already. No. Bro, let's load the truck.
It's crazy. My mind doesn't stop.
It is a sense of relief, but we're ready to go to the next because that's the energy. That's the lifeblood. Telling stories, oh my gosh. And as we watch this baby grow and evolve, we have, 2 or 3 films that we want to do next year. They have completed scripts, and we're sort of looking at those now, trying to get some traction with investors and with studios right now. So we're on to the next one, but we're still got our eyes on the last 1 or 2 to making sure it's still doing good in the public eye.
So, Taja, was this your debut as an executive producer then?
In this capacity, yes. I mean, as an actor, oftentimes when you lend your talents and you can be they'll give you the credit, but you don't necessarily, you're not doing all of the work that comes along with it. But this one, I was in there from the beginning of working with them side by side, of doing everything. So in this capacity, yes. And I was really excited about that because it's something I've always wanted to do. I just honestly didn't have the courage to go out and do it on my own and be like, okay, I can do this. I mean, I know I've helped so many other people do it and I just hadn't done it. And so when Maurice was like, I want you to do it, I was like, okay. And he's my best friend. So I'm like, well, I know I can do it with you. So let's go. So by working with him, it gave me that extra courage that I need to go off and continue to do it in this realm because producing it's a lot of work. It's a beast, but it's also the most rewarding thing ever.
Is it more rewarding than acting?
No, not for me. Not for me, just because acting is my first baby. So it's hard to replace your first love.
Sure.
Acting, directing, producing, writing, all these things, they all kind of end up working together as a creative and as a filmmaker because you need to wear all these different hats to get the project done. But nothing's going to replace your first love. It is what it is.
Maurice, a couple of things I want to ask you. What is it you hope people come away with from watching this movie, and how important is it to you to be coming back to Columbus for this event and being able to do it there? I'm sure you're going to see a bunch of old friends from Brookhaven that are going to show up there, and former Buckeyes will be there as well, I'm sure. So I'm curious how much all this means to you and what you want people to pull away from the movie.
Yeah, well, so as far as wanting people to pull away, the things that we really try to center around, especially for holiday films, we center around, forgiveness. We center around love. We center around family and the importance thereof. And, although all these things happens to our main character and, he's going through a hard time, at the end of the day, it's important to show the importance of, family still coming together in spite of. And I think that's what we get in the midst of the comedy and the drama that unfolds within the movie. We still are gonna have that core center of like, hey, family over everything, and I think that's what we kind of want people to understand. It is a movie that pretty much everyone can watch. There's nothing crazy, that changed. But this particular movie is it's a family movie that people can sit down and watch and take that away about how much love overcomes all in the aspect of family. So as far as coming to Columbus, man, it's a blessing to be able to do so. I did it with my first movie, Baker's Man, in 2017. But this one is on a lot bigger scale, and we're super excited to be able to bring some of the cast as well, that's a part of the movie to come and do meet and greets and do some press about the movie, because that's, at the end of the day, we're growing and we're we're only going up from here. So that's what it's about. And eventually we're going to be out of the country doing press. We're going to, it's going to be crazy. So, it's an opportunity for us all to get that experience of being able to showcase our film, and obviously being from Columbus and growing up here, going to Ohio State, I'm asking for so much support from our Ohioans to come out. It looks like we're already halfway from a ticket sale. We're already sold half tickets already. So I would encourage everyone to go get your tickets at studio35.com ASAP, because tickets will sell out. It's one night only. You get the meet and greet, you get the red carpet, you get the question and answer after the movie. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be an amazing time. And, I can't wait to see everybody, to shake hands, take pictures, and, talk about the film. So let's come on out and see us.
Come on.
I don't want to give away anything in the movie, but do you in fact have rhythm?
Come on, baby. Your boy.
Okay, look, I'm saying that's great acting then, because I know you got called out in the movie for not having rhythm, right?
Hey, your boy.
I know. Look, I know you. Okay.
I'm Tito.
Tito
rhythm. He has a little bit of rhythm.
That stood out to me because I said, wait, I think Maurice Hall does have rhythm.
It took me, it took a lot for me not to show the rhythm.
I got you. That's tough at acting part. Yes.
Oh, you were holding
let you know
back.
that.
That's what it was, Tony.
That makes sense.
Got it.
Acting out.
Elaine from Seinfeld, right?
Just want to let y'all know.
Sure.
Hey, I can't wait to see you guys next week. Thanks so much for being on here with me. And
thank you so much, man.
You bet. Worst Christmas Ever, red carpet premiere Thursday, November 13th, studio35.com. Click on events. Release in theaters November 14th, and on Tubi it'll be streaming November 18th. I can't wait to see the full thing, folks. Thanks so much.
Thank
you.
Awesome.
All right. That's it then. Thank you guys. We lost your video, Tony. We'll figure it out, though. We'll figure out something to put up there so the screen doesn't look blank the whole time. But we lost you on video early on there, but we got your audio. So,
well, I always say I got a face for radio. So, you put something else up there that looks better.
Put a picture of him there.
You see this? That's the only reason I do radio. This is it. This is the reason right here.
Yes. Me personally, I need something else. Yeah.
Yes, that'll work.
I can't get a name on my character.
Okay. All right.
Tony wrote the script.
All right. It's your name. Whose fault is
I
that?
should have changed it.
All right, folks. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
All right.
Peace.
All right. Bye.
Have a good day, everybody.
What in God's name is that in my driveway?
Not my car.
Hey, Pops. They canceled our second flight.
No, Lee, do not do this to me. I can't be there with your mom and her new fiance any longer.
Hey, babe.
My boo. Come on. I guarantee there's not one bone of rhythm in that body. Oh, well, at least I know you didn't leave me for style. Look at his face. You're gonna cry. Did you call him hun?
No, something's been different since Billy's been here.
Worst Christmas ever.
What's your name?
Harmony Davis.
Harmony Davis. So my man been in Atlanta less than 24 hours to scoop up a honey. She fine. She's funny. Wendy Williams is funny. The next thing out your mouth is she got a great personality. She's beautiful. You remembered my name. Just like I left a lasting impression.
Or maybe I'm just good with names.
You look like you need to cool down.
How are you feeling? It's family reunion. I'm a little worried about my pops. It wasn't his decision to get the divorce.
You treat your dad like he's a stranger.
He is.
This is about to be the worst Christmas ever. You got a great opportunity to have a relationship with your kids.
I love you, Dad.
You have a better opportunity to be a great father. Maybe you'll have a better opportunity to be a whole whisperer for heaven. No.
Challenge accepted.
I'm excited everyone's coming.
That makes one of us.
Have fun.
In Christmasville, everybody's welcome.
Have a Merry Christmas, brother.
Hey, my luggage.
Merry Christmas.
All right, that was great. Thanks so much to Maurice Hall, Tony Patterson, Taja V. Simpson. We're going to talk tomorrow. We're going to talk to Shanti Lowry, Bill Bellamy. We'll talk to them. Also, Maurice Hall, some more on that. But it's worst Christmas ever. Red carpet event in Columbus, November 13th, Studio 35. Go there, studio35.com/events to buy tickets for that and support this project by a former Buckeye. And we'll play a trailer right now. But this has been the Jeff Thitoff Show on FanStreetSports.com. Follow me on Twitter @ThitHappens.